we get 10. So if we have to prepare, it is basically STEM is a global context. So let us see how it influences the development of our society. As I said, it is not just a subject, it is something which can take us way beyond the subject. It is a way of living. It inculcates lifelong learning in students. So how do we go about it? How do we do STEM in the school? First of all, STEM education gives people skills that make them more employable and they're ready to meet the current labor demand. See, in the world of Google, in the world of internet, I don't have to learn. I don't have to cram things up. When I'm going to my job, like even my daughters, they're doing their job. If they want to learn something new, they just Google it. Okay, I'm Googling it and I get everything. So I don't need to learn. What I need to learn is how to adapt myself, how to think in a different manner. So to be able to think in a different manner, we must inculcate the STEM education in students at a very early age. Encourage them to do things differently. Encourage them to think out of the box. For example, you can have an ideathon in your classrooms. Ideathon means you can have a competition, maybe in your class, in your school, amongst the students, where everyone comes up with one idea to solve a real world problem. Like very recently, one of my students, they came up with an idea of a finger lock bottle. They said, we don't want others to drink from our bottle. So why don't we lock the bottle? So it was an idea which is very simple, which is very innocent, but it came up because I told the students, okay, come on, come up with some idea. A child came up in India, it's very hot. It's during the summer, I think even in Kenya or in Africa, in Nigeria, it must be hot during the summer, hot and humid. We need coolers or we need ACs. So one child, she came up with the idea of creating a little cooler which does not need any battery, which does not need any power. It needs a small piece of battery. That's it. Not but no power. So it saves a lot of power. You can simply use the cooler, take it anywhere you want, and it gives you cool wind. So this type of things can come up only when we encourage our students to do something in a different way. So each STEM component brings a valuable contribution to a well-rounded education. Of course, all of us know that science offers an in-depth learning. Science is not simple. Science requires us to research. It requires us to think. So why not use this think and research and make our students critical thinkers? Technology prepares students to work in an environment which is full of high-tech innovations. Nowadays, everything is high-tech. Everything is moving towards the world of AI. We have AI, we have design thinking, we have machine learning, we have big data. All these things are there, right? So technology is important. It is one of the most important fabric in today's world of education. Teach them science, teach them technology. Engineering basically means, it does not mean going to a college and learning engineering. Engineering means a student is able to develop a model, right? The students is able to, for example, as I said, making a plane out of a paper is also engineering. How to fold the paper, or maybe making a boat, how to fold it, or at what angle should we fold it, how should we make it so that it can float on the water. So that is engineering, fine. So engineering gives us, enhances the problem solving skills of students, and we can apply our knowledge, real life knowledge. Then we have maths, which is also a very important component of STEM. Maths basically is used to make conscious decisions when we're deciding solutions. It helps us to remove errors. So all these four we have to combine to form STEM, which is what is required. Apart from all this, STEM also enhances teamwork and communication. So if you are teaching science, maybe, or if you're teaching mathematics or any subject for that matter, why don't you give your students a project? Maybe after the end of one unit, maybe after the end of 3 units, you can give them a project which they have to apply what they've learned and make something. Like, for example, I am a computer science teacher. So I have asked my students to create a project on cybersecurity. They are supposed to make a team of 4 students, and they are supposed to, inquire. They're supposed to investigate what are the problems they are facing. They'll go and ask their parents, they'll go and ask their community, students, their peers, what are the problems they're facing. Once they find out that these are the problems they're facing, then they have to make a report in which they're going to propose the solutions. So all of them, they work in team. It encourages teamwork. At the end of the project, they have to communicate. They have to present it in the form of a PowerPoint, in the form of a Canva, or maybe in the form of anything they want. So what are we enhancing? Teamwork, communication, presentation skills. All this because we are applying STEM in our classroom. This is apart from applying critical thinking, problem solving, and all that. Apart from that, we also have teamwork and communication. Another hidden skill that STEM promotes is soft skills. The skill, if I say I'm a people person, a people person is a person who is able to communicate his or her idea very effectively to people, so that the person whom they're communicating it can understand it and can also take it up. So if I'm a people person, I can communicate what I want from other people. STEM also enhances that. It enhances the way we communicate with others. So also STEM, if I have in India, we have lots of competitions. We have lots of societies offering ideathons, offering, STEM competitions. Like even today, I've got one proposal where we have to propose, short films on cybersecurity, or maybe short films on how to make boats or something. So, what is happening is when we are going for STEM, there is an active engagement of experts. Suppose now, let me just give an example. I've given my students a project, fine, to research on, let's say, how the aeroplane works or the plane works, okay? You can take anything. And what will they do? They will go to the internet, they'll find out, they will watch YouTube videos, they will listen to experts, they will research, they will talk to people, they will talk to their teachers, and then only they'll come to the solution. So what have they done? They have learned how to research in diverse fields. They have learned how to use STEM to drive change in our society. So it also offers effective interdisciplinary communication. STEM does not mean only one subject or two subjects. It encompasses many subjects, right? Collaboration is another key. Then a very important part of STEM is social awareness. You might have learned of the world of edupreneurship, socialpreneurship. Socialpreneurs are people who actually, they create devices, they create a solution to a problem, keeping in mind the social aspect that, okay, we are making something for the human being, for the humankind, and it is being used. Like we have in the Microsoft Imagine Cup, there was a team which won the competition. They created a pair of spectacles, which could help the blind people see images. It was not real-time images, but they could, actually recall from their memory. They could translate the thought into an image. So it was a very high-end project. I would not say that school students can do it, but college students can do it. College students will only come to do it when we teach them we start from the school level, we start from the grassroots level. So we are working towards creating a community of students, a community of people who think differently, who have this innovation in their mind, and who actually think in the way how to benefit humans. So social awareness is another skill which STEM is inculcating. STEM awareness also promotes interest in a range of exciting careers. Like you can have, as I'm speaking also, US will need almost 1 million more STEM experts in the near future, because there are lots of innovations going on there. We need a lot of people to solve a lot of problems. One of the most pertaining problems nowadays is climate change. Everyone is talking about climate change. But what do we do? How can we bring this climate change into control? We can do this by not only by creating awareness. Creating awareness is different. Okay, in my country now, we cannot use plastic. But we know that plastic bags, like the plastic bag here, you can see this one, it's very useful. It's very strong. I'm using it because it's strong. It does not let my goods go bad, and it's durable. It's very cheap, right? So I'm using it. Now, I've told my country's law says don't use it. Now this is not against the law because this is a reusable plastic. In my country, I cannot use one-time use plastic, one time, like which is very thin. So okay, fine, this is fine. Climate change is taking place, and we are doing it for society. What is replacement? What is a replacement? Something which should be cheap. If I talk of paper bags, they are not cheap because environment is being harmed. For making paper, we have to cut trees, right? So why do we have to save plastic and cut trees? No. Second option is jute bags. Jute bags in India, we have a very good uh, farming of jute, and in other countries also, but they're very expensive. Then what else can we have? So people have come up with a different solution, that is muslin cloth. It's a cloth which is very thin. It looks like plastic, but it is not plastic. It is biodegradable. So this thing was come upon, okay, we have to solve climate change. We do not have to use plastic, but what do we use? So how can we come to this, material? By using STEM, the STEM skills that were learned by so many people. They applied their skills and they came up with developing this indigenous material, right? So this is just one example. So social awareness, I would say, is the most important outcome of teaching STEM to our students. So while we're teaching STEM, we must make sure that we are ethical. This is very important. Like all our students, they know their norms. They should be working towards within the boundaries of the social norms. They should not hurt any feelings. They should not hurt any environment. So if they're proposing a solution to any problem, that problem might be huge, but it should not be hurting any elements in the nature or in people. That is one more important thing. STEM also offers sustainable solutions to challenges. As I said, sustainable. 70% of the young people aged 18 to 34, they all worry about global warming. So we all know global warming is there. Again, as I said, STEM is the only way where we can teach them to find the necessary solutions, sustainable solutions to challenges, sustainable solutions to what is happening around the world. So teaching them STEM is not just teaching them science or teaching them technology or engineering or maths. It's like teaching them a way of life. So if in the end, I would say the world we live in is changing. So we must keep pace with it. STEM education changes society by offering learners a new mindset and skills valued in any profession. So anyone who is having a STEM mindset will be hired quickly because he or she thinks differently, and any employer can see it. As I said, they do not need people who are cramming things up. They need people who think out of the box. Fine. So STEM allows young people to be flexible, look for patterns. It also allows them to find connections, evaluate information. It raises social awareness. It also communicates global issues to the general public. So I would say in the end, STEM opportunities move us to a knowledge-based economy. I would again repeat, STEM basically moves us to a knowledge-based economy and also enhanced sustainable literacy. So don't just think that STEM is hi-fi. STEM is not hi-fi. STEM is a way of thinking, and you can inculcate it in very small activities in your classroom. As I said, after the end of every 3 lessons or maybe every unit, whatever is your time permits, ask them to come up with a project. Ask them to use their knowledge to come up with a sustainable solution to any problem that they face. It can be as simple as carrying maybe a bag, not carrying a bag to school, or maybe carrying something which is more pertainable to their lunch, whatever. So just go for it, bring small changes in your classroom, and I think we can create a world which is much better to live in. Thank you.
Neru, are you true? Neru, are you true?
Yeah.
Okay, you are true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people will have a lot of questions to ask. I know some of us are just getting into STEM and STEM activities fully. I know some of us are aware of it before. I would love us to raise up our hands if you have anyone to ask questions on how you can implement STEM in your school. The first
In
thing I
fact,
will
I
ask,
would, yeah, okay. I would like to know everyone, how are they implementing STEM in their classroom? Even that I would
I think most
like to know.
people are new to the concept of STEM. Most people are new to the concept of, although most people are science teachers, but they are new to the concept of STEM. And of course, I know they want to ask the question that how can they start implementing STEM in their classroom? I'm a chemistry teacher. And I happen to coordinate. There are hands already. Don't worry, we'll give you opportunity to ask questions. I happen to coordinate the Jet Club in my school. I've created like about 4 to 5 Jet Club in my locality in about 3 to 4 secondary schools now. I've created Jet Clubs in 3 to 4 secondary schools. And in my school, I'm the coordinator for Jet Club. Some of the things I do generally is we have during our meetings, I tell students to create some devices. Some of my students have created irrigation system model. They have created solar system panel. They have created a flour mill that could use paper. So my students have created a whole lot of things. And then, of course, one of the things I found out is that they are excited when you ask them to create these projects. They want to work together with themselves, and then, of course, they want to explore. In fact, currently, some of my students are creating the Nilbor model, atomic model. They want to recreate it. They are creating a bomb atomic model. Some of them are creating some of them are creating a biogas using a stove. So we have a lot of projects like that. And then as a teacher, I inculcate STEM and project-based learning into my teaching. One of the things I do is I give students projects to do. At the end of the term, you have to be in a group where you have a project to do. There must be a project to do. Currently, my students, in my class, I think there are about 4 to 5 groups. Then some of them are creating irrigation panel model. Some of them are creating an air conditioner using simple household utensils. Some of them are creating what's it called? A lot of projects like that. So STEM usually goes with project-based learning, where you also engage your student with projects to do as well. Okay, so having said that, I know a lot of people will have a lot of questions to ask as regarding this STEM and how they can implement it in class. So if you have questions, kindly raise up your hands. If you have questions, I think I'm only seeing one hand up. If you have questions, you can kindly raise up your hand. Okay, let's have Yusuf Abdurrahman ask questions. Yusuf Abdurrahman, you can ask questions now. Yusuf Abdurrahman, please ask your question.
Unmute yourself, Yusuf.
Yusuf Abdurrahman, please unmute yourself. Okay, while he is here to do that, I want to ask Nehru for a newbie, for a teacher just coming up. How can they start implementing, even without having social clubs like JET Club? JET means Junior Engineering Technicians and Scientists. Junior Engineering Technicians and Scientists. It was created by one of our own professor here, Professor Okebukola, is one of my professors and mentor. By the grace of God, those that will be attending our STEM program, Professor Okebukola will be coming up live to talk to us. For newbies that are not into STEM activities before, how can they what's it called, start implementing STEM in their classroom? I'm asking Neru now. Neru, I'm
Yes,
asking you,
I think
how can they start implementing? Okay.
yeah, I said this earlier also. For newbies, for teachers who are new, they must implement STEM. Like for at the end of every, for example, if I talk of maybe solar energy, okay, you are teaching about energy. Energy, how what forms of energy are there, and how can we get the energy and all that. So they can always, give a project at the end of the unit to find means and ways of finding energy sources which are renewable. So for that, they can make a project, maybe using solar energy. The children can create a small windmill made out of plastic, maybe made out of ice cream sticks, and propel it using a simple fan. So using that, the child can create a very simple model. And once it's not just creating a simple model, when they're making the model, when they're working on it, they are very much aware that, okay, energy sources are renewable as well as non-renewable. And we must use renewable sources so that we do not exhaust the energy of the planet. So that develops the STEM in them. That, we should say that sparks something in them that sets the clock ticking. So now that child will never forget that solar energy is a renewable source of energy, and I should be looking for renewable sources of energy so that my planet is sustainable. That's one example. An English teacher can take up a STEM project where she can ask the students to find new ways of doing spelling a word, or new ways of using a word in different contexts. So STEM is there everywhere. It's just the small things that we can do through activities in our classroom, that is STEM.
Okay. Okay. Now, another question that we'll ask. If you have question, please you can ask. Another question that I will ask is that most people usually find it difficult to combine giving student projects with school activity. Of course, you are in India, and then of course some of them do not even know what to do, because they are, some of them are teaching. Some people are teaching computer. They don't know where to come up in computer. Some people are teaching computer. Can you please tell us, for each subject, some of the ideas that teachers can use? For instance, the person that is teaching physics, the person that is teaching mathematics, the person that is teaching what's it called, biology, the person that is teaching what's it called, mathematics, computer, and the like. So as chemistry as well. What are some of the project ideas that you can think of? Neru, did you get my question?
No, actually, your voice is cracking a lot. I could
Okay, my
not get
voice
your
is cracking.
question clearly.
What about now?
You know what? Your phone is, as you move your phone, your voice goes away. So that's a problem. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I was asking that how do we have what are the project ideas that some teachers can inculcate into their learning that could help them
I just
become,
shared.
like I'm talking
it.
about,
Yeah, I
I want
just
to be
shared it.
subject specific now. Some people are saying that that one is more of physics and the like. What about a person that is teaching biology, a person that is teaching computer, a person that is teaching mathematics, a person that is teaching mathematics, a person that is teaching chemistry, etc. What are some of the project ideas that you can think of?
See, I am a computer science teacher. I'm not teaching maths or science. So I
Okay.
just say computer science, maybe they can use a project in which they can find out, they can create a braille, an electronic braille for students who cannot read, or they can ask to create an AR/VR model. AR/VR is very much in nowadays, even for biology, for physics, for other subjects, you can use AR/VR. I'm writing the name of the apps which you can use for this, like here I'm writing Alupa, 3D Bear. In this, there are already created projects. You can ask the students to use them.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think she's dropping some link. I think she's dropping some link, some names. If you have the link, you can help us drop it as well so that people can so like the question I asked her, STEM requires that a teacher be innovative. It requires that you as a teacher, you have to be innovative. Like a chemistry teacher that I've talked about, before the beginning of the term, I go through all the scheme of work for that term, and I look at apart from being a JET club, then let me also say it emphatically that to encourage STEM in your school and among your students, please create a STEM club like JET club. JET is more of a STEM club. You don't need to necessarily call it STEM club. When you have a JET club, you have you can have a lot of activities there. Even if your school work will not really make you to have projects, a lot of projects for your students to do. At that club, what's it called? I usually, when I go to schools to speak, it is important that students are in clubs. It is important that they are in clubs. And then one of the clubs that is very, very important is Jets Club. Currently now, there is upcoming national Jets competition that's coming up in Nasarawa State around October 27 to 29, if I'm correct. And of course, during our Jets Club meeting, one of the things we usually encourage is that we look at some of the things that are eco-friendly. We've taught our students about sustainable development. We've told them about ethical use of whatever resources that is in the earth. They know about global warming. They know about all of this in this basic concept that makes that could make our planet to be sustainable projects, sustainable challenges in sustaining our world, and all those things like that. So we have made those ones now we have made them to be able to do that well. So in doing that, once you are able to create, when you have this kind of club, in those club meetings, we look at some projects that we look at some projects that some people have made before that are eco-friendly. We ask our students to replicate. Sometimes we also tell them that, okay, look at your environment. Some of the things that you think is lacking in your environment, can you come up with sustainable solutions to that? So that could be very long. That's under club or extracurricular activities. Again, you can, as a subject teacher, that is why it is important that you understand what is called project-based learning. And then, of course, creativity. You as a teacher of 21st century, you need to be creative. You need to be creative now, in the sense that you need to look at how you can engage your student fully, not only to learn what they are, to know what you are teaching them, but able to practicalize it. We are in an era where students needs to practicalize whatever they have learned. So as a teacher, for me personally, teaching chemistry now, I look at the term, I look at the project, what's it called, the topics, and then I carve out projects that students could do. For instance, this time, I think this first time around, for my SS one student, of course, we are talking about atomic models and the likes that could create models like that. Some of them has to look at in SSU, some of them have to look how to make some robots and the likes. It has to do with some of the topics that are there. So you look at topics like that, and of course, come up with projects that your student could do that are eco-friendly, and of course, that could solve some solutions within but we are looking at alternative sources of energy now. They could come up with biogas projects, etc. So as teachers, we each of the term, or we can do it differently in each of the terms. Look at some of the projects you can engage your students with. Let them create solutions as well. Let them come together in groups and look at some things that they can lay their hands on and build themselves. You are not only helping them to master whatever topic in concrete form, you're also helping them to learn collaborative work. You are helping them to, more importantly, provide solutions, immediate solutions to problems within their environment. It is quite important. So creativity is very important. And then, of course, you'll be able to look at different projects your student can come up with each of the time. I think that will go a long way in encouraging them. And then, of course, if you don't have JET Club in your what's it called, you will need to inculcate that club in your school. It's very, very important. It helps a lot of students. I have in our JET Club, for instance, we have seen students that have created an alternative drying machine that could dry even without having sun. So we have a lot of students coming up with different projects on their own just because of these things you are exposing them to. It's very, very important that you do that as an educator. So I don't know if you have any other question to ask. Now, this program is just to introduce us. This webinar is just to introduce us to basically what STEM is all about and what's it called. We are going to be having a program that is coming up very soon. It's one of the ways by which you want to say, let's begin to encourage science teachers to begin to take STEM. Let's begin to have STEM. What's it called? We are going to be having STEM program November 1 to 30. You are going to learn as a teacher, as a science teacher now. If you are not key into STEM, you are doing a lot yourself a lot of harm. Not on that alone. Globally now, the world is shifting towards STEM. Why? Because the generations that we have now, they are called Gen Zs, and then of course Africa needs STEM more than any continent now, because we have not fully go into industrialized age. I argue that a lot in a lot of conferences. Africa still needs to be highly industrialized, and then for us to reach that point, we need to begin to shift towards STEM education, where our learners are innovative, they are curious, they are inquisitive, that they have this skill that is born in them naturally because of the generation that they are now. A normal child will come with test skills. You just need you to bring that skill in him or her. So they are in that generation now. So because of that, we need to explore that potential in them, and then begin to help them think of how they can be innovative and solve a lot of problems that our continent, our communities are facing. So globally now, STEM is gaining ground, and science teachers must begin to think in this line. So it's a combination of a lot of things. You must be creative, like I've said. You must be innovative. You must begin to look at project-based learning in your teaching, not only the traditional teaching of going to class and then giving them note advice. You need to begin to do something that is different. So in this workshop, in this program, it's going to be a 1-month program. You will need to learn. You will learn the science curriculum, the computing curriculum, the coding, the robotics, and then how you can begin to teach STEM and inculcate STEM in your what's it called. And then we in the first day of the webinar, we looked at FETS simulations. In this workshop, we are going to look at these FETS simulations in full. There are going to be a general session for FETS, and then we are going to have group session where experts that are chemistry teacher that have been using FETS will come around to teach you how to use FETS as a chemistry teacher, physics teacher, biology teacher, computer teacher, etc. like that. So this is the first of its kind in Nigeria, in a full Nigeria setting, where we are going to be teaching teachers to turn. Before, what we have seen is that we go to schools to teach students. Now we want to teach teachers because we believe that once teachers are able to inculcate STEM into their what's it called, and they're able to create what's it called, then it will go more in Nigeria. We need this thing in Nigeria and in Africa as it stands. So this is the first of its kind in our country, and then of course we want you guys to, as much as possible, not only your school alone, not only tell your colleagues and the likes that are science teachers. In fact, tell your school if you can sponsor as many science teachers as possible. You need it a lot. So the program will be coming up, and then of course registration is ongoing now, and then it's going to be a wonderful program for us. Okay. So having said that, then some people are saying that what about primary school? Yes, STEM is for both primary. STEM is for both primary and secondary. If you have watched during that program, we are going to show you some videos as well. You see primary school students coming up with innovations and designs on their own. It is not only for secondary school students, please. It is for both secondary and primary school students. A lot of innovation. One of the things I've also found that in Africa and Nigeria generally is that we do not have those things. When we were growing up in primary school, we were not introduced to some of these things. But in overseas, you see young students, primary school students, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, doing amazing things with technology, coming up with a lot of innovations on their own, very small children. So we need to start doing that in our own, in our continent as well. We really need it as much as possible in our continent. So we have learned the importance of what's it called STEM, and now we can start using that in our own environment. And but this program will really expose us to STEM, how we can implement it in our class, how we can develop curriculum, how we can get engaged students with STEM program and the likes. But more importantly, how we can use field simulators, create a virtual laboratories, create a virtual what's it called for our student. That is going to be wonderful and massive. It's going to be a massive program. And of course, the registration week we will put on the group. I will want school owners, if you're a school owner here, you have access to your proprietary, that let your science teachers, teachers need it more than, especially science teacher, we need it more than. In fact, we are planning that at the end of this program, we'll begin to create STEM Educators Club or STEM Educators body in Nigeria. We are going to create STEM education body in Nigeria. It's more of science teacher association, but now emphasis will be on using STEM, introducing STEM in all of your curriculum, all of your topics as a science teacher. So the movement is starting on, of course. We'll be glad that you tell your school owners, your proprietors to be part of it and the like. So that's that. The information we put on the group. I think there is one person want to ask question. Akim Saka. Akim Saka, I think you want to ask a question.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is this, based on the Jet Club stuff. In our school, we've been trying to set up this particular club in the school for a very long time. Well, we have been constrained in so many things. We just discovered that after creating the club, okay, we have club, this and that. Probably due to activities, class activities or thereabouts, we've not been able to actualize it. So I don't know if you can advise on how to set up a jet club in this. So what are the technique or the criteria and the model of setting up a jet club in the school? And how can
Okay. Well, for me, when I started, fortunately, when I was serving, I had the opportunity to be in a school where they had jet club already. I've told you how they do analyze. But more importantly, when I was I have had the opportunity to be in a lot of schools, so I know how the run things there and the likes. For Jets Club, you science teacher will have to come together. That's number one. And of course, in terms of club and what's it called, most of the schools have introduced Jet Club too. I also introduced extracurricular activities here. Although we are not supposed to talk about those ones yet, but my own concept of education is total education. I call it total education because anything that has to do with schooling or education goes way beyond what we do in the class. In fact, the class is just, for me, for my research, the class is just contributing about 10 to 15% of what a child should know. That's my own philosophy. So I tell school owners, whatever training I've gone to do analyze, have clubs in your school. This is where your student will learn most of what they are going to use in life. And that is just the basic truth. So, and then of course, so when I introduced the JET, I went to the proprietary, then I called the science teachers together. Some of them said they wanted to have maths and robotics, and I said, we do not need to create ambiguous, what's it called? Let's have a JET club. Under the JET club, we have math, we can have maths and robotics underneath. And so I went to the school, what's it called? They did not have extracurricular activities before. I said, let's create a day. Let's create a day where students will be going to clubs. And I recommended about 5 clubs to them. I said, I will, and some other science teachers will handle JETs. What are we going to be doing in JETs? And that is why you need this training as well. Once you learn to be a STEM educator, you will be able to come up with different innovations just to make them have some things to do. Number one, what we do in JET is we expose them to science researches, engineering researches, and innovations that are on ground. Then we expose them to, I will send you some documents. You can send me a message. We expose them to, we have an outline for a whole session, how the whole stuff should be. The topics that we're going to cover, we cover robotics, we cover, then we also give them some projects that, what's it called, some students have done across board. We group them so that you can lay their hands on it. And then each of these STEM JET club member must have a project to do. We tell them, look at your environment. That's for secondary level anyway. But for primary level, you are going to be taught in this training some basic primary level program, STEM activities that your student can do for primary level. I mean, I'm more versatile with secondary. I don't deal with primary, what's it called, at all. So Mrs. Aminat, I just say is here. She has done a lot of stuff with primary school students. I'm not into primary school whatsoever. So for secondary level, we make sure that, okay, pick a particular project to do. So they'll be working on that project. And then of course, we usually give them also good project. For instance, my JET club members now, they're about 35. So they are in about 4 to 5 groups that I can remember very well. So as what's it called, I give them projects. They have 2 projects each for this term to work on. So during the JET club meetings, we usually have 1 hour. During the JET club meetings, we allocate about 30 to 40 minutes or something, as the case may be, depending on how we have structured the project and the program. They have time to work on that project. And then sometimes they have to meet elsewhere to work on the projects, analyze. Sometimes we just have to give them documentaries or projects some people are doing, some innovations that are in 21st century, a lot of things. Sometimes they have to do a very quick 5 to 10 minutes project. Sometimes we do science exhibition. A whole lot of programs we incorporate into. I will send you a prototype of our program for last term. How we do it every club meeting. How we do it, and then the prototype of our projects that we are currently doing. So I will send you that. So it's always interesting. It helps a lot of students. Currently now, some of them are building flour mills. They are building flour mills. I think one guy is building. One student is building flour mill using paper. And then the project has been massive. And then of course, we usually have JET Club Week where we have exhibitions and like we invite parents. And so we invite parents to come around, come and see what their student is doing, what their children are doing. They pay for that exhibition. Their parents, but the parents are always happy to come and watch, come and see what their children are doing. We have had students that have made drones before. We've had students that have made helicopter. We've had students that have made cars. We've had students that have made soldering iron from pencil. A lot of projects. These students are creative and innovative. They just need people that could push them. In fact, most of the time, I don't do demonstrations at all. Sometimes if you need access to YouTube video, we come to the JET Club meeting. We play videos. We have system. So each person, we connect internet to it. They watch the videos on. They have access to internet. They watch videos on some of the things that they want to do. They write out their plans. They come to their groups again, map out their actions and plan. Most of the time, I do the coordination because I'm always very busy. And some other science teacher, I coordinate all the extracurricular activities. So, but of course, without even having them come around, without even me come around, these guys are innovative. They are innovative. They know what to do. Just give them the opportunity. They will do it fine. So I think I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, I think that the prototype will really help a lot. You've tried in answering the question. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So I will also encourage that, please, if possible, your science teachers and let them attend this program, at least so that you can also be very, very vast. Sometimes if I have the time, I come around the meeting time. I just come around, and then of course I perform some things for them, some science tricks. Sometimes it's just to make something in 5 to 10 minutes. So if I have the time, but most of the time I don't usually have that time. So you as a teacher too, at least they want to see that you're also innovative in one or two things, at least you can show them. So it's very important that you come for trainings like this, and then your science teachers, tell them to also come around as well. You can tell your school owners to sponsor you guys to come around so that you can learn everything. You can show them, and then it will also arouse their interest. When we started, I was the one showing them, so that because they needed to see me take that leadership. Not that I will come and play video for them to go and do. No, I will have to show them some things to do first. Then once later on, when I was a bit busy, they have done the interest has been created already. They will come and be telling me, Master, I have an idea, I have a project I want to do. So can I go? I said, write your proposal. In that meeting, in that club meeting, we taught them how to write project proposals so that they can, when they become what's it called, they can learn that. So they write proposal about the project. I look at it, I approve, they start working on it. Some of them will come in tools. We are thinking of doing something like this, something like that. So it's very, very important that you yourself as a teacher must be fast in this thing. And that is why this program is very, very important for you. Your science teachers in your school, you can come together, let your school now sponsor you guys to come around. Is always good. Then of course you can also inculcate it in your own teaching as a chemistry teacher, as a physics teacher. Make sure that there is a project you can give to students in some of the topics that you have taught them. Think of a lot of things that they can work on as a project. It helps them a lot. It helps them a lot. And there is no time I will not give a student projects to do. There is virtually no time. Why? Because I want them to also explore, not only me that will be doing the talking. Let them also explore themselves to see how the beauty, they learn the beauty of science from that, apart from practicals and laboratory. Doing projects like this help them to, what's it called? My student have to do that. They just have to, they know me already. So I think I've been able to help with this. So I will send the prototype to you. I will send it on the group as well, so that you guys can have access to it. And then if I will go to on school on Monday. Probably I will take some pictures of some of the projects that they have done. I also send to the group as well, so you can see some of the projects these students have done on their own without me interfering at all. We just started about 6 months or 1 year ago, but at least it's moving. So that'll be all. So let me encourage you guys. Tell your school owners to sponsor all your science teachers. You need this program. We are going to be dropping and then of course, if you have science teachers across board, tell them as well. Registration will start immediately, and of course, the program is starting November 1. So we will give you guys opportunity to pay by month's end. You can tell you, but I will also encourage that you meet with your school owners, let them sponsor 3-4 teachers around. At least it will help the school. If you are, these are some of the things that is making the school lively now. In fact, this Jet Club and STEM obviously that I'm introducing to some of these students, that is making their parents to say, "Oh, this school is very serious." I have to tell you the truth. Including that first simulation, that's the truth, because parents want to see, oh, these people are engaging the student, they are coming up with project. Imagine a student is working on a particular project, and of course he's staying, what's it called? He's doing a lot of building a lot of things, and the parents will call me, you are engaging my child a lot. He's always busy looking up for solutions to do. But one of them is even making currently a solar inverter. One of them is making a solar inverter currently. So is good. Parents are happy because one, you are engaging their student. You have then they are collaborating together with their mates. Sometimes they connect virtually. Let's have a virtual meeting. Let's discuss how we are going to do our projects and the likes. So it's giving a lot of then it should give your school a lot of prestige. That school in our area now is the best, because as far as I'm concerned, because a lot of people are thought, if you go to that school, they are doing this, they are doing that, and that. Students want to get encouraged and the like. So it's good that your school owners buy into this idea. A lot of school owners need to buy into this, train their teachers on this, then it will help you. So on that note, I think I have to release you guys today, so you can tell others about the program. Now the school is per participant, because you can see that it is 20 modules. Is a whole lot. In fact, it's because we are coming in, we are stepping in, that we needed to reduce that price a bit. Normally, if you are STEM, it's a gray area now, and then it's the most, as far as science is concerned now, people are tending towards STEM. We are supposed to give the program for 40,000 per participant, but of course, we give it by the time the program gets some parts of the country now. The program might drop from 15,000 naira to about 50,000 naira. That's what's it called. So people that are cohort one people or cohort 2 people might still have it for 15 to 20,000 naira. Starting from cohort 3, thereabout, you will have to do the program for about 50,000 naira. So I will encourage you guys. It's 15,000 naira per school, per participant. So, but if you are coming from a school, probably you are 10 upward in your school, we can look at you and talk about discount. If you are about 10 upward in your school, probably you are coming as a full what's it called your school, we can look at that from down. Okay, so I think that's that. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, for joining this session. I hope we have been able to learn one thing or the other, and you have gotten some ideas to also start implementing as well. Okay, so we want to see teachers becoming better. That's what we are doing in Emirate now. We want to see a lot of teachers. Okay, somebody who's asking, you want to ask a question?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Concerning the video, are we going to see it the way we saw the last one, the one we did yesterday? The one you sent into the YouTube yesterday.
Okay, the last session that we had, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are going to have, that's why this session is recorded as well. It's going to be on YouTube.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.